Hello fellow shadows, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about some cameos that are further going to be in season 2 of Mandalorian. So, we already heard about Ahsoka Tano potentially making a cameo in season 2 of The Mandalorian. I wouldn't be surprised if Morai, which is supposed to be like the embodiment of the sister or the daughter from the Mortis story arc from the Clone Wars, is going to accompany Ahsoka. Because in Rebels, wherever Ahsoka went, that bird was there following Ahsoka pretty much. Like, I want to say 2 days ago, I heard that Tamira Morrison is going to be Boba Fett. It's okay, I mean, it's already established in the Clone Wars that Jango wasn't a Mandalorian, so we could easily see Boba taking off his helmet. I mean, if he's going to be a Mandalorian, then they're saying that Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit of Return of the Jedi, because Mandalorian takes place 5 years after the events of A Return of the Jedi. But here are two new characters that I've heard is going to be a part of that's going to be part of the cameo list on season 2 of Mandalorian. Sabine Wren. She's like the Mandalorian artist. Well, she's a Mandalorian person in Rebels. She's the artist of the Ghost Crew in Star Wars Rebels. I mean, I have no issue with her. She's an okay character. Never really got really attached to her per se when I was watching Rebels, like emotionally, like I did with Ahsoka and Anakin, Obi-Wan, with the Clone Wars, and in Ahsoka's case, Rebels too. But I also hear that we're getting Captain Rex for Clone Wars. I mean, for Mandalorian season 2. I mean, it could. I can't see what people are saying about Ahsoka, Rex, and Sabine being in Rebels, assuming this is true, potentially leading into the animated Rebel sequel show that shows Sabine, Rex, and Ahsoka looking for Ezra, but I don't know. Like like every character that I listed, Boba Fett to Captain Rex, Ahsoka Tano, and Sabine Wren, all good characters, but I just want at the moment it does seem that they're focusing more on the cameos, and I could be wrong. It's Mandalorian season 2 has not come out yet, and I did enjoy season 1 of Mandalorian. But it does seem that they're focusing heavily on, oh, let's bring on some old characters and pile them on into this show. Besides making besides focusing on the story per se. And maybe it will connect to the story beautifully, and maybe I'm being overly cautious. And if I am, after I see that episode, after I see where they take Ahsoka, Rex, Boba, and Sabine, assuming that all 4 characters will be in Mandalorian, I would be the first one to say I was being overly cautious. But I feel like some of these characters should be left to us viewers surprised. Like Rex and Sabine probably should have been left to surprise. Like, yeah, nobody like outside of like what Rebels and Clone Wars would, or specifically Rebels, because Rex, Ahsoka, and Sabine were all in Rebels too. That nobody outside of Rebels and potentially Clone Wars with Rex and Ahsoka would know who these three characters are. Everybody knows, well, everybody has a general sense of who Boba Fett is, but Rex, Ahsoka Tano, Sabine. If you haven't watched Rebels, if you haven't watched Clone Wars, if you haven't watched Rebels, you won't know any of these three characters are. If you haven't seen Clone Wars, then won't know who exactly Ahsoka and Rex is per se. I mean, yeah, Tamara Morrison might play Boba Fett and Captain Rex, which that'd be great, but and it'll be interesting to see Mando's reaction when he meets Boba and Rex, because same face and all. Assuming that Boba takes off his helmet. I don't know how I genuinely do not know how I feel about this. I want to be excited, and I was excited for Ahsoka, still am. Pretty excited for Boba, and don't get me wrong, if Rex and Sabine were in the show making a cameo, I would be excited. But as of right now, I'm cautious. Like, you do not want to go heavy-handed with the cameos. You don't want season 2 to be known as the season that has the shit ton of cameos in a bad way. And what I mean in a bad way, saying you focusing more on the cameos than on storytelling. This shows Mandalorian, from what I've seen from the first season, is one of the better things that to come out of Disney Star Wars. Season 7 of Clone Wars is another. Rogue One is another. Rebels is another. And even though it's connected to the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, in my opinion, is another. Because it was a nice setup to what could have been a great trilogy. The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker was kind of like a letdown after watching The Force Awakens. And yes, I fully am aware that The Force Awakens was a pace and copy cut of the New Hope, but just modernized with different characters. But still, I am still counting The Force Awakens as one of the better parts to Disney Star Wars. Guess it was the first movie in this trilogy. Yeah, it would have been nice to see Luke, Leia, and Han together. But it also gave us a really nice setup of what could have been. It gave us like a lot of story arcs that the sequel trilogy could have went into, and we got in the end we got like but still, The Force Awakens is one of the better Disney ones in my opinion. If you feel differently, I respect your decision, but that's just how I feel. So I think, long story short, if they're going to have or planning to have any more cameos in Mandalorian season 2, then they should not not announce it. Oh, cause Arcade Outpost does have a point. This does kind of seem make the whole Star Wars galaxy feel smaller than it is, like when it once was, because they're trying to like connect everything together. And Ahsoka, we got to be introduced to her in the prequel era. We got to see her in the original trilogy era, and now we get to see her in like sort of the sequel trilogy era, but not exactly yet. And we get to hear her voice in the sequel trilogy era too. So hearing that in like isolation separately, hearing Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Captain Rex, and Sabine Wren making a cameo does excite me to a certain extent, but it also worries me if you put them together because I don't know at the moment if they're focusing more on fan service than storytelling. And it's okay to have fan service while having storytelling, but I'm skeptical about this. I really am. And I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm generally skeptical about this. So what do you guys think? Are you guys excited to have Sabine Wren and Captain Rex join the cameo list for Mandalorian Season 2 along with Boba Fett and Ahsoka Tano? Leave a comment down below. Love y'all. Have a nice day. Be kind to one another. May the Force be with us all.